So I recently finished watching Dungeon Meshi. When I first saw this, I thought this will be just another anime about food. But oh boy, I was wrong. So let me share my experience with you. What was it like again? Oh yeah. The dungeon is a vast network teeming with dangerous monsters and plant life. The legend has it, some dude claiming to be a king left a shitload of treasure somewhere deep inside, which is now being guarded by the dark magician. Whoever defeats him will not only get to claim the treasure, but will also become the rightful owner of the dungeon. In Dungeon Meshi, we follow a group of 6 characters. In Dungeon Meshi, we follow a group of 4 characters. In Dungeon Meshi, we follow a group of 3 characters, Laios, Marcel and Chilchak. Right before Falin became dragon food, she used teleportation to send everyone back to safety. Laios wants to head straight back in to save her adorable little sister before she gets digested. But without any food, money and proper tools at their disposal, surviving in a dungeon is near impossible. But who gives a fuck? Let's go anyway. Then they come across Senshi, who's the Gordon Ramsay of this anime. This dude can turn any scary looking monster into a 5-star Michelin meal. Him and Laios are two kindred souls when it comes to monsters. They can go on and on, yapping everything they know about them, like their anatomy, biology, the type of ecosystem they thrive in, and they take their sweet ass time cooking them, forgetting about something important they have to do. And I seriously don't blame them. Who cares about some sister floating in a pool of gastric juices when there is something this delicious looking in front of you? The food they make is eye candy. Looking at it, you won't believe that this came from this. Also, I have noticed that anime has this ability to make any food look sexy. And it doesn't matter what kind of food it is. It could be a fucking cucumber and they would make it look like the most aesthetic looking piece of cucumber out there. Whenever I see food in anime, it reminds me of that one scene from Assassination Classroom episode 19, where I saw the most scrumptious mouth-watering bowl of ramen I have ever laid eyes upon. To this day, I cannot get this out of my head. Don't believe me? See for yourself.
たっぷりのネギと一さじのニンニク。そして
I always wanted to try ramen like this, but I don't have a gun, so instead I shoved my dick. Food animes are anime that basically revolve around food. They showcase beautifully animated cooking scenes, highlighting the process and technique involved in preparing various dishes with ASMR sounds, which is more than enough to give you an orgasmic feeling. And it will make you think that food in anime is better than the food in real life, just like you believe 2D girls are better than the 3D ones.
Okay girl, shit.
But we are not here to talk about food animes or why this woman is coming after taking a bite of her food. The reason I brought up this topic is because food animes in general lack a very crucial thing, an intriguing plot. Watching them cooking delicious meals and enjoying them is good, but they do this very same thing over and over again multiple times in a single episode, and it gets boring really quickly. Then there is Dungeon Meshi, with its one-of-a-kind unique plot with lovable and goofy characters and a masterfully crafted world build that makes you feel like it will swallow you whole. Dungeon Meshi has its own well-thought-out complex ecosystem. Monsters in it are not just some spawned creatures that will reappear after being killed. They are just like animals in real life. They feed on other creatures while others feed on them, creating a carefully mapped out food chain. And what actually blows my mind is that the dungeon in it is like a living and breathing entity itself. A vast multi-layered labyrinth filled with different biomes, each with its own unique flora and fauna. It's a self-contained ecosystem where every creature, plant and environment is intricately designed to contribute to the dungeon's overall balance, while still having an impressive array of fantastical creatures and plants, each with its distinct biological traits and behaviors. From the carnivorous mandrakes to fire-breathing dragons, every organism is carefully crafted to fit within the dungeon's ecosystem, which goes to show that the author has put a lot of thought in it. But why do this? Why put so much effort in an anime that's just about eating monsters? And the reason is, it isn't. Later half of the show is where things start to get a little darker, a little creepy, but you don't notice it because this show does such a good job at keeping you engaged with the food and antics of Laios and others that you don't realize that slowly but surely the plot is moving forward until it's right in your face knocking on the door and be like, "Hey bitch, you are forgetting something. Oh shit, there is dark magic. Oh shit, this is so sexy. Oh shit, who is he?" And we also get introduced to a hell lot of new characters, each with their own motives. Some who are in dungeon for love, some who just wants to destroy, some who can't be trusted, and some who are just in for personal gain. The point is, this shit is going hard. But despite all the craziness, most of our time gets spent with these four goobers, so let's take a closer look at them. Calling Laios shit for brains is not wrong. He always puts himself and his party members in danger, all for the sake of eating monsters. Like literally, the moment dude sees a monster, his priority changes. A little dance and cannot read the room. But he's also the guy who jumped headfirst into the dungeon to save Fallen, and he will do the same for anyone else in his party without a second thought. Marcel always thinks she is above eating monsters, but in the end, she always ends up eating monsters. A little annoying but cute. She is also the strongest one in the party, but most of all, extremely loyal and will always stay by your side through thick and thin. Chelchak is the little guy who is also the oldest one in the group. Yup, you heard me right. Don't judge him based on his size. He already has 2 kids. His logic above friendship, and don't like taking unnecessary risk, and gets irritated really quickly when others don't listen to his advice because he doesn't want to see them getting hurt. Senshi is the coolest and baddest motherfucker out there because he can cook, he can kill, but sometimes he is too stubborn and set in his ways, which leads to clashes with others, especially Marcel. All of them are flawed in their own way, and they most definitely don't fit the criteria of main character we usually see in anime, which is good because all of them feel like people with real personalities, each with their own set of problems and weaknesses, but equally their own strengths and resolve. They face every challenge covering each other's back and get through them hand in hand, and after that they enjoy a hearty meal together. When Laios said that he thinks they are losing because they haven't eaten anything in the first episode, it sounded very stupid at that time. But as the time goes by and the story moves ahead, that single line becomes meaningful. It's true that you cannot adventure on an empty stomach. Food is not just a means of sustenance, it's a reason for people to gather around and strengthen the bond they share with one another. Dungeon Meshi begins as a slice of life and later turns into seinen. The food is not always the center point of this anime, nor is the dark stuff or action. It balances out each of these elements perfectly to give you an experience filled with emotions and thrill, and that is the part I love most about it. If there is one thing that you don't have to worry about while watching Dungeon Meshi, is getting no game no life treatment. Because season 2 is in production and the trailer is already out and it looks absolutely insane. At this point you might be wondering why I'm making a video on Dungeon Meshi so late in the game, and the reason is I just finished watching it and I loved it so much that I wanted to make a video on it. It's not about views, it's not like I'm getting any. It's about appreciating the good anime and making videos that I want to make. If it was about views, I would be making a video on Vistoria or Alia sucks cock in Russian. Next one will be about Elusive Samurai by the way, so make sure to subscribe and like and comment. I will really appreciate it, and also check out this motherfucker. And like always, see you in the next one.